Gonna do that. Good morning, Rebels. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having fun. We just lost Parker. It's all right. I'm gonna pull up the commitments and get rolling. Hold on a second. Share screen. Share that one. Boom. Commitments. In order to maintain clarity of purpose, we ask that every member of the Rebel community make the following commitments. Number one, I will protect the value of my services. I will never provide free services, as this would only serve to erode the value of similar services industry-wide. I will practice incredible transparency. I will explain our processes in details to my clients. I will never hide details or manipulate reports. I will never communicate with a third party without also communicating with my client. Number three, I do not believe in competition. Restoration professionals in my market are part of my community. I will be an active member of that community. It's our unbreakable unity that will create the change we strive for. And number four, I am willing to walk away from any project, client, or contract that is not compatible with my values and stated mission. Good business does not require us to give up sleep, money, or our humanity. Got a little out of order, but it is okay. Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's just us. So, Chris, why don't you tell us what's going on in your world today?
I don't know. I went out yesterday and I could not believe how much traffic there was. So it was quite surprising considering
this whole quarantine thing. I think people are getting tired of it.
I think so. I mean, it's definitely changed my world a lot because I've been just spending a lot of time showing people how to work remotely and have meetings and things like that versus how to use my tools that I provide. So that's definitely been a change for me, but there's definitely more of a learning curve for people on the other end.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. So you seeing restorers having trouble right now? To my knowledge, most guys are just putting the PPE on and going.
My clients, majority of them are 50 to 60% down that are still going full bore. I've got one that's only about 30% down, but the majority of them are 50, 60% down.
Huh. It's strange to me. Some people are down, but some people just can't catch their butt with both hands. So it's weird. What do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because things like the ones that are concentrating on things like water mitigation, you got homeowners sitting home, and instead of the dishwasher or the fridge leaking all day long while they're at work, they catch it right away, mop up the water, and call it a day.
That's a good point.
Those types of claims just aren't coming in.
Which makes and then you got a certain percentage of people that even if they do have a loss, they don't want anyone in their house right now.
Yeah. Whereas one of my clients, they got a large commercial loss because something happened with the sewer with the residential places that were up the hill. And because there was nobody in the business, the sewer started running for a couple days through the building. So their residential was down, but the commercial definitely got a good job out of that.
I saw an article on the increase of burglaries in commercial spaces right now, because these guys have realized, probably before we did, that no one's going to be showing up at this place for a while, so it's free pickings, which is strange. What are you seeing over there, John?
You know what? I'm seeing the large, properly managed companies are sort of slightly changing their marketing perspective, and they're still getting the jobs. The jobs are still coming in. The small ones that were basically like mom and pop contractors that also did mitigation, they're not having a good run of it right now. They're having some pain, and you either pivot or die. So they better pivot.
Better pivot. Agreed. Your house sounds like mine right now. Actually, not right now. Later today. Guarantee there will be World War III.
I'll just come out here and relax.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Got the community pool. Wait, that's not a community pool. That's your pool.
That's my house.
Oh, okay. You got a big pool. Wow.
I got more than one kid, Andy.
Got it. Got it. Now, Jerry, what are you hearing in the market? Let's get the pulse here. Take the pulse. What are you hearing out there?
Yeah, a lot of guys, same kind of comments that have already been made. Some are super busy. Some are dead in the water. Some are fearful. You can hear it in their voice. A lot of stress. Don't know what to do. Pivot or die. Yeah, that's a great point, John. And a lot haven't. A lot aren't. A lot are waiting too long. A lot are reactionary, waiting for it to come to me versus proactive, go out and get it. It's about focusing on what you can control, and the rest will take care of itself. And I think there's a lot of people that are just not doing anything, kind of waiting for that phone to ring, and that's a big mistake.
Big mistake. Yeah, you gotta go out there and make it ring. No one's gonna call you. No one's gonna go out of their way, unless you're me for some reason. I've had strange. It's a strange season for me because it seems like everyone now is calling that hey, I talked to you last year. Remember that remote estimating thing? Yeah, let's get that going. So I'm fortunate enough to be on the other side of that.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of inquiries coming in which is usually I'm outbound going out, but I'm getting a lot of calls coming inbound saying, hey, I want to talk to you about how to do this.
Yeah. How can you make my phone ring? How can you make my phone ring?
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
The first thing we have to talk about is, hey, you need work right now? Yeah, this ain't gonna help you. This is long term.
No.
This is the apple tree you should have planted 6 years ago.
Amen.
Yeah.
My it's amazing. Yeah, I follow another guy. He just started his own independent insurance agency. I forget where he's at. But he went on a rant last night on YouTube talking about how the legacy agencies are going to die. A lot of them are going to die through this process because they don't know how to operate in an online world. And he said, well, it's your fault. And we've been telling you this. Some people have been telling you this since the 70s. Get online. Go virtual. This is how the world is going to operate eventually. And if you're not online, like my landlord, I'm half worried that he's going to sell this house because he runs an art gallery in Hawaii. Art galleries in Hawaii are not doing any business right now. So, if he was online, this would be, he wouldn't get any foot traffic, but he'd still be able to sell stuff online. And this is a major gallery. This is a big gallery. You've probably heard of it. They don't have a big online presence. So that's on us. And going online is so easy. It's just, you just got to get over the fear and start doing it. But from the restorer's perspective, what does that mean? What does online mean? Because we do everything in person, right? So what can the restorer do? Besides marketing, obviously marketing. Can they do education online? Yes. I'm spitballing here. What else could a guy in our industry do to help his online presence? Besides dusting off the LinkedIn profile.
Andy, I love your virtual background. I mean, you're just right out of Star Trek. You just vaporized and then reappeared. It's pretty cool. You'll enjoy it on video playback.
This is a strange time. I just found out like 30 minutes ago that my grandfather died.
Oh my.
It wasn't a shock. But it's still one of those things. It brings home, I wonder, did he die fulfilled? Did he leave this earth having done everything he had intended? Did he go out on his own terms? I'm pretty sure he did. But it just brings home to me all the nonsense we're hearing right now on all sides. We've got people just painting an entire segment of our population of our country with this brush that's ridiculous. But then I hear the same spewing from the other side about the other side. So I am firmly in the middle of, hey, we've got some stuff to worry about, and there's some ridiculous, stupid things happening. But let's take care of us. Let's find where the commonalities are and focus on those. And what if we don't wake up tomorrow? If we don't wake up tomorrow, did we do today what we would have done having known that we're not going to wake up tomorrow? I think that is the key. Right now, above everything else, we need to be doing what we love. We need to be doing what's important. We need to be bringing value to the people around us and to our world every day, because we might not get to do it tomorrow. And complaining about the government or the president or those stupid people doing that stupid stuff, that doesn't bring value. We can complain about adjusters, right? Those stupid adjusters, those stupid insurance companies. Guess what? They pay our bills. So let's find a way to get beyond the ridiculousness and the finger pointing and the blaming and let's just get down to it. Who are we? Why are we here? I think I'm here to make the world a better place in one small way, right? Use my talents and my God-given skills to affect positive change. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking about renaming this place, right? The Brotherhood. I like the Brotherhood. What are your guys' thoughts on that? The Brotherhood, the renaming, the Rebels has been, I think it's the name, the nomenclature has done what it needed to do. It garnered attention. It gave us, kind of created a platform. And I think it actually created some division that was unnecessary. So what do you think? International Brotherhood of Disaster Responders. Good, bad, worth even spending any energy on changing? What do you think?
I don't like the last word.
Okay, fair enough. Ardno's in the house.
I think you got a great question that would make a great post. Put it on Facebook, ask the question, get people to respond, see what people are thinking.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Obviously, when
What
you
say you, Ardno? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, when you say brotherhood, obviously we're inclusive. We mean brother sisterhood, but it's kind of hard to get that. You guys, y'all, all that stuff gets us into trouble. Today.
All y'all.
I hear you. But hey, ask Ardno about all y'all. What all y'all means, because all y'all means very different in the South where I came from. So
that's like one of those universal phrases.
yeah, he's just laughing at us. He's
got his Cato breakfast.
There he goes.
That's a half-pound burger patty right there.
Wahoo!
Wow, that looks like yesterday's burger patty for breakfast.
It's not breakfast time here.
Oh, that's true. It's 1 o'clock.
Yes. Lunch, man.
It's lunchtime. Well, how y'all doing today?
Hanging in, man. Hanging in. Feeling somber today. I don't know if you
Are you
caught
talking about gender-neutral Southern words or what?
Yes. Because originally, you guys should have seen the acronyms I was coming up with in the admin chat about 2 weeks ago. Originally, I did have Brother and Sisterhood, and in the logo, I'm pretty sure if you look at it, it still says Brother and Sisterhood. And we decided that the sisterhood part of it was assumed, and the brotherhood part of it was gender neutral enough to move forward. But we can have this discussion in the group and get plenty of opinions, I'm sure.
I wish you would quit assuming people's genders.
That'll get you in trouble.
You know what they say about opinions, right?
Yes.
They're like belly buttons. Everybody has one.
Uh-huh.
And it's full of lint.
Could be.
Everyone has one, and I can't pick yours. I don't. You lost me. Well, Bess, how are you? How's business? You guys are. How long into this new venture are you?
Well, we went through a rebranding that started mid-January. We actually opened up, so to speak, mid to end of February,
Okay.
and then the virus hit, so that's where we stand.
Mhm.
I do have, contacts, actually a HVAC company led me to a property management company. So we've had a couple of losses with her. I have a few realtors that I'm working with, but we haven't really gotten anything. It's just seems like the water's dried up and the mold, and we've had a few mold inspections, but people got sticker shock and thought that they can just clean it on their own. So that's what they were doing. So obviously we walked away from that. And right now I'm focusing on just started doing Google ads. My SEO guy is just started doing Google ads. I am going through Facebook and joining property management groups, real estate groups to get involved in there and kind of be like a resource for them that way. I'm also working on my Facebook posts. It just seems like everything takes so many hours, and it's just my husband and I, and we have a technician, and it just seems like I can't get it all done
I
because
agree.
social media just takes up all day long, and I'm not even on half of what I should be on. So I'm making phone calls, trying to get in front of people. We've got a trifold that we had printed up, that I was actually going to go out and meet with people and hand out, but we can't do that. So we're just trying to
You can mail them.
gain customers.
You can always mail them out. People like a nice note.
I was thinking about doing that as well. Doing a mailing, like kind of a postcard mailing instead of the trifold mailing. So I already spoke with my my print person, and she's sending me over a quote to do some mass mailing as well.
Perfect. All right.
Bess?
John raised his hand, but
Can I
Bess,
ask you, are you doing agent marketing?
I'm sorry?
I was going to say, can I ask, are you doing any agent marketing?
Agent, like insurance agent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making phone calls. I spoke with Jerry a couple weeks ago, and I've been making phone calls to insurance agencies. Some I'm not even getting anybody to answer the phone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys aren't there.
Yeah, which is frustrating. And then I've left messages and haven't got returns, and I've sent out emails, haven't gotten any returns on that. So
I'm sure Jerry will be able to help you out. I haven't talked to him specifically about it, but I've only heard good things. But sometimes an in-person visit, if their office is open, I don't know what your area is like, but a lot of the offices around here are open, and they don't mind me stopping in there in person. And sometimes an in-person visit can get you a lot further than a phone call or an email. But it's been my experience, if I'm slow, if I spend even 2 days just going and visiting agents and visit 20 or 30 offices over a couple days, I traditionally have more work than I can handle for almost immediately the few following weeks after that. So
well, that was my original goal, was to go out and hit insurance agencies and realtors and things like that. And I actually had my list and my my routes all set up and ready to go. But then when this started in, everything was shut down around here. I'm in Charleston, and everything's shut down. So I've passed by a few places and everything's closed. So, but I think the one-on-one interaction, I think for me, is easier and better. And I just
Yeah.
haven't had that opportunity. So we're just, like the Maytag repair guy waiting for the phone to ring. But I mean, we're reaching out to people, but it's just, so, yeah, we're waiting for our stimulus check to keep us afloat.
Start doing $1,200 mold remediations.
We've
All
had
right,
a few,
Evans.
and people are just like wanting to, they're just like, well, can't I just clean that? I just want to put the house up for sale, and I just don't want anybody to see it. So I think I'll just clean it.
Mm,
So, I mean, that's what we've been getting, and it's just crazy to me, but
I get it.
whatever.
I get it.
But
So
thank you.
Bess, this is John Evans in New York. Go ahead and send me an email, john@airguys.us. I had the same struggles with the social media when we started a year and a half ago. That you're having right now was like, oh my God, the time suck of this. There cannot be an ROI on what I'm doing. I'm going from Twitter to Google to Instagram
Right.
to yeah. There's an app that I use. I don't remember what it's called, and I can't get to it because I'm using my phone, but I will send it to you. It's very inexpensive, on the edge of maybe $7 a month,
Wow.
and it will allow you to preload all of your social media for the week. I do mine on Sunday night,
Okay.
and it goes everywhere. It's on LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and do them all at the same time. So like, say your thing was, call Bess for the best dry outs you can get. It won't put it all at the same time. It'll do it LinkedIn at 1 o'clock and Twitter at 2 and Facebook at 3.
Okay.
And it's good. And I do get, I get a better return, because for us, what's the return on investment? Either the phone rings and it's a paying customer, or it's you're getting likes and shares, you're getting that real world reaction. But for me, I'm like any business owner. The phone rings and, hi, it's John Q, homeowner, and he wants to pay you X number of dollars to come do a service at his house. And a lot of times when your name gets out there, people don't search for Bess. They go on Google and they're typing, Charleston water damage, right? Or somebody tells the homeowner about you, and they go to search for Google or Facebook. And how nice to have like a real thing on Facebook or Twitter or whatever focus you're using, where it's like, oh, there's a daily posting. This is a real company, instead of you go and it says January 1st, Happy New Year.
Yes.
So you have to have the appearance of activity, even if it's not actually you on the machine all the time.
Yes.
I yield the floor, Andy.
Thank you.
Hey, so,
what you got, Arno?
I'm in a small market, about 60,000 people. Been here for about 2.5 years now. One of the things that has worked well for us is our BNI connection.
Mm-hmm.
We've been in BNI for a year. We've done over $60,000 worth of closed business in 1 year. We just did a $10,000 commercial loss last week based on a BNI referral.
Wow.
Paid in 2 days by the insurance right after it was done. So BNI has worked well for us. You can actually visit any BNI chapter up to 2 times in your area, and you get exposure without even any commitments.
Okay.
Chamber of Commerce. We've been part of the local Chamber of Commerce. They did a ribbon cutting for us. We were able to get our name in the newspaper. So that gives you exposure. We had a plumber call last week from one of our local plumbers, had a water leak. We had one of the handymen in town that knows us through Facebook. Had a lady who he did some remodeling for, had a refrigerator leak Sunday, who called us and referred us. So definitely getting connected to the landlord association. We did 3 mold inspections yesterday for one landlord who manages over 350 properties.
Wow.
And so she called us and had us go look at 3 different mold jobs yesterday. I gave her my mold reports based on my observations. One was a crawl space that had inadequate vapor barriers.
Okay.
So we go in and start putting a vapor barrier down as well as insulation to
Right.
protect the wood floors from all the environment. So there's different things that you can do locally,
Right.
even in your downtime. And that's just things that we've done. We did about $475,000 worth of work just last year in our second year of business. And like I said,
Wow.
we're in the 60,000 population market.
Right.
And that's where we get most of our work is just referrals.
Referrals. Have you guys noticed, do you have Nextdoor, like the Nextdoor app in your area?
We do. I haven't gotten anything from it. I'm going to pile on the BNI thing a little bit. Some people don't do well at it. Some people do. It's definitely not guaranteed. If you're somebody who's better at interacting on a personal level, some people
Yes.
just aren't good at that. But if that's something you're good at, then it can
Yes.
definitely be a good resource for you. Like I had a house fire come in. No, not the fire. I had a multi-story residential flood Friday, and then a house fire Saturday, then another small flood Sunday, and another house fire Monday.
You need some
And
new guys. You need some new
a flood
employees.
yesterday, and a flood I went and looked at this morning, and all of
Wow.
those except for one came from connections that I met in BNI. Not even necessarily my chapter, but other
Right.
chapters of BNI members
That's awesome.
where they know me as well. So
That's
the one
awesome.
that didn't come from BNI came from a Google Local Services lead, by
Okay.
being on the Google Guarantee or whatever the heck it's
Right.
called,
Right.
is where that came from. It wasn't a PPC or anything like that. It was the actual Google Local provider or whatever.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm going to check
yeah.
into that then. Now, are
BNI
they,
can be
is that
awesome
something to
if you're
get,
good on a personal level.
is this, the BNI, is that something that is going on now because of the virus? Are they having meetings now?
I'm sure
Or
they're all going
Meetings
virtual.
online, so you could actually visit like all of the chapters in 1 week and never leave your house.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, and this goes for all of you. If you don't, if you're not optimizing your Google local business page, you're missing out. You need to pay attention to that page. You need to go get your own URL that you need. Mine is Claims Portland or something. But Google gives preference to local businesses who have a full profile on their Google local business profile. So the local maps, it's all about geography. It's all about how close I am to my customer. And if your potential customer is in your geographic area that you cover, Google's going to show your business result if that is properly optimized. All right, John, you're in here twice. Oh, that's noisy. You
No,
experimenting
Bess,
on us?
if we can help you with anything, there's plenty of people that do different types of marketing on our Restorers Rebel page. Jerry's very knowledgeable in
Yes.
bringing donuts to agents and your business cards.
Yes.
No,
I know a couple of companies that do that. They bring donuts every day to different companies.
That's a good way to get fat and diabetic.
Yeah.
And guess what? You end up looking like the Girl Scout cookie marketer too.
Yeah, I
You
don't want
just
to do
have
it
to-
that way.
You have to bring that unique factor of why that agent wants you in their office, because the front door person, like Jerry said 2 years ago when I sat down and listened to Jerry, he said one time he was sitting outside of an agency and he saw 10 different restorers walk into that same agency with the same donut box.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. Did I
One of
tell you
the
guys a
places
story
around here does
notebook store?
cookies, but they made custom branded boxes.
So I don't bring cookies or donuts. I do bring stuff, but it doesn't matter what you bring if you don't deliver the service that they're looking for to take care of their clients. It doesn't matter what you bring. It's not going to work. But I try to bring something memorable. Usually I'll stop by like the European bakery and I'll get some special cake, or
Okay.
I'll get like macaroons or something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, so they know when I show up they're getting something different than Jolly Ranchers and donuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bess, another thing that you can kind of consider, and I don't know if you have the capability of doing this, but there are some guys that set up CE classes once a month or once a quarter. I know Chris Laney does this in his shop. He has a nice conference room with executive chairs and tables, and he brings in tons of adjusters, local agents, insurance people that will sit there and he has contests, he has giveaways, but the main thing is he will go through and do a CE class to those insurance, and he'll have 20 to 30 insurance agents in his own backyard while he's doing a CE class that listen to him during a lunchtime.
Do I need certification to do that, don't I, of some sort?
Or you need a certified class, you need a registered class, and you need a registered teacher. It doesn't necessarily have to be you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's better off that you would bring in somebody to do that, probably.
Okay. I can rent out a space.
Yeah, I had tremendous success early on in my career.
Just trying to give you some ideas, you know.
I appreciate it. Those are great ideas.
Yeah, because they all need CE. I mean, I need CE. My licenses have lapsed since I didn't do my CE last year.
Now, I don't have one, Andy. I mean, is every state different, or how does a company like me go about getting a certification?
I can answer that for you if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you want to check with your state insurance commissioner's website. They'll have continuing education there. There'll be a place there for you to become an approved instructor, that type of thing, certifications, those kinds of things. And yes, Stephen, it varies by every state. Every state is different. I had the experience of setting this up nationally for a franchise company I work for, and we had to do it. We had to file it in every state. Some states will do some reciprocity. So if you're in an area where there's 4 or 5 states in your geographical area, then you'd look into the reciprocity component. But if you're not, Bess, I'm pretty sure where you are, it's just going to be the folks local to your particular market.
Right.
Check with the insurance commissioner's website for your state, and look up under continuing education, and provider is I think the term that they'll look for. You get your provider first, and then you get a course approved. So it's a 2-part process.
Okay.
And the original restoration company I worked for, Dow Columbia in Portland, that was the backbone of all of their marketing efforts. And they would spend, we weren't afraid to spend $7,000 on holding an event, and as long as it, so we wouldn't charge, but we would rent out a nice hotel space. We would bring in good food, but we would get 45 to 50 agents at a time. And you would, back in the day, we'd do 8 credit hours in a day. So it made a long day, but you got to sit, and I had the pleasure of giving most of those. So I was in front of that 50 agents for 8 hours.
Yeah.
There's no better way to solidify you as the expert in your market in their minds.
Correct.
And I'm going to jump in on that one too, Andy. I'm with you. 15 years ago, that was the backbone of what we did, and it worked, and we took it nationally, and it worked nationally. But it started to decline in terms of seeing jobs come right afterwards. Used to, you'd put those on, and within the next 2 weeks, you'd see jobs coming from people that were attending those classes. That still happens some today in some markets, but in most markets, that's really dropped off. What is important is the last part, what Andy just said. It establishes your credibility, you as a brand, and then you follow up with that. You have to do your sales work
Right.
directly to them. You have to go in there with more than just CE or free CE. You want
Right.
to use it as an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation with that business owner, with that agency owner, that broker that's in there, and talk with them about their real needs that go beyond the fact that you give great quality service, that you give great, you do great quality work. You've got to go beyond those things and speak to the agency's needs today that are very different than they were 10, 15 years ago.
Correct.
When they were handling claims and they were involved in claims. Today, they're not. So their needs have changed. So CE is a great opportunity if you leverage it into a sales opportunity. If you do it just thinking you're going to get work from it, like we used to, you might as well keep doing, candy deliveries, because that used to work too. But today you've got to turn that into an opportunity to talk to somebody one-to-one about what you really can do for that agency.
Yeah. And it gives you the ability to tailor that message too.
And Bess, I think one of the things that, as you see, is you have to develop a marketing strategy.
Yes.
What percentage do you want to come from local agents? What percentage do you want to invest in SEO? What percentage are you going to spend in PPC? There's not a, let's put everything into just program work, right? Because that's not going to be profitable. But program work can work for a 10% leverage into your marketing strategy.
Right.
But the other 90% has to be in other areas. And if one dries up, say a 10% or a 15% of your marketing strategy dries up, you still have the other 80% shifting work into your business.
Okay.
You just have to determine what you want in that marketing strategy and how much percentage you're going to devote to each category.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I had a client just start with Contractor Connection and Nexus this week. And I couldn't come up with a good reason why not, because for him it made sense. He has a going business. He has revenue coming in. He was just looking at, he like a lot of you guys out there have experienced a drop, and these programs are still looking for contractors. So he said, well, I was on Lions Bridge and I dumped them. So I'm not afraid to dump these guys if it doesn't work out. But now his assignments from Nexus and Contractor Connection are coming directly to my Xactimate. So I can help him out. So it's the programs, they're never going away. I used to think that this goes to the hubris I used to hold. I used to think that I could single-handedly destroy the TPAs. Not so long ago, right? Because I was on fire and I was going to just disrupt everything. Well,
I wish that you
I've grown.
would have been great.
What's that? What's that, Parker?
You could have.
Part of me wishes I could have, but the other part of me says, they fulfill a function, and there's very little else that fulfills that particular function for the carriers. And I sure as hell don't want to start a TPA to try to displace any of the existing TPAs. I'm not in the mood. I don't have the patience for it. So let's let them do that work. There's plenty of other work, high-end retail work, commercial work. There's plenty of other work to go get. Let's let the TPAs handle the singles and maybe some of the doubles and just let them be and learn how to get along with them. It's easier to do that than it is to try to fight the whole system.
Yeah, that's a great point, Andy. They're not going away. They're part of the reality, and they're part of the mix. I love what you said about your client, though, who said, I've fired them before. I've let them go. I've stopped working for them. And I think that's the key. You've got to be smart about this. When you go into a TPA, at some point, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for your business. And when it's not, you want to be ready to say, you know what? I'm done. Walk away. Go get some other work. Get better customers. Because if you can't do that, man, they're going to own your soul at that point. So, great reminder to know when to, what's the phrase? Know when to fold up, know when to walk away. That's when there comes a time when you might need to run, just get away from it.
Yeah, and the hardest part is to stay disciplined enough in your intentions to not get behind the 8 ball. It's really, because the temptation is they will bury you sometimes with work, and then you will turn away other work in order to handle this work because of the KPIs and all the reporting. You got to push that button, push that button, push that button, and 24 hours, all this, the requirements are real heavy, and they will bury you with work. You will turn away all other work and just concentrate on them. But then things change, or you realize, hey, this really isn't working for me, and now I'm going to go get the other work that I had before. It's going to be gone. You're going to have to start from scratch on your marketing efforts. So it's the discipline of keeping your egg baskets separate, which is difficult for a lot of guys. Learn to play your game and play their game. Yes, sir. Absolutely, Mr. Artie. You need to grow that beard out, man. You look too young.
I'm 44 yesterday, bro.
44. Wow. Well, I got a year on you, and it shows.
And still 5'5".
I'm still 5'5". I love it.
No, that's one of the best things that I found 2.5 years ago. Well, 2 years ago was Andy McCabe on LinkedIn. And ever since then, I found these other guys that, it's not about egos. It's not about arrogance. It's, hey, how can I help somebody else grow from what I've learned, whether it's by the mistakes or the successes. And that's what's important about this brotherhood, neutral tender term there, is we help each other grow, help each other learn, because there's somebody that's been doing this 15 years and me just getting in it 2 years ago, I can learn from what they did wrong so I don't go down that same path.
100%. 100,000%. Long live the brotherhood. Yes. And sisterhood. I'm going to have to look at that logo again. I'm pretty sure. Parker, go to the Facebook page and show me. I'm pretty sure sister and brotherhood is in the logo on right there underneath the IBDR. What does that say? He's trying to figure out how to share a screen. No.
International Brother and Sisterhood of Disaster Responders.
See, we can leave it IBDR, and then the subtext, we cover both genders. Now, if you're a third gender, I'm sorry, we're not gonna. You're out. We don't include you.
Damn it, Andy.
I mean, how would you say it? Brotherhood, sisterhood, and ithood.
Yeah, you really don't want to go there. I'd move on. You're recording this, Andy.
Let's put the lid on that one. All right. Well, it's been good to see you guys. These are strange times. I want to be as helpful as I can. So if I can help anyone here or out in the greater world, just let me know. You know how to get a hold of me. John, keep up the good work. Who here saw John's podcast or video on YouTube? Well, come on now. At least make him feel good. Pretend. You can lie to me. No, you should check it out. Good information. Runs a little long, in 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but really good. And we're going to have a follow-up one here pretty quick because it's pertinent. It's timely. It's all COVID. It's all virus. It's good stuff. So that's it. Any last words from the Peanut Gallery? No? All right. Good to see y'all. Take care of each other. Reach out to another restorer this week, please, and ask them what you can do for them. And that's as easy as it gets. We'll see you guys next week.